on North Street in Harrisburg in what used to be the most dilapidated of buildings. And we're here for the future home of Elementary Coffee. You saw something here before it looked as clean and nice as it was here. And what was that? Why this location?
Besides Kui sitting down from Anja Kui and Rubicon, besides her sitting down at the elementary bar and saying, I know the perfect spot for you, yeah. I had walked by on Susquehanna Street and saw this building kind of in its full disarray when everything in the back had been collapsed. And I was like, oh man, this is such a great space. I guess some other business probably has dibs on it. But this is, if anyone who's walked by, is such a great location. North Street having a merging of community versus downtown, having a lot of great food here, but kind of having a gap in the access of coffee seemed like a really great home for us.
Sure, and the blighted nature of this building really out of character for the rest of the neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And it was true, and it's sort of embarrassing for the city, but this was a building which the city owned, and when I took office, it made no sense that it hadn't found somebody who would like to develop it, mm-hmm. and we began actively marketing it, and we actually had a number of people look at it and say it just couldn't be done. But eventually we found Mr. Matt Krupp, who we will talk to in a moment. But even still, this is a great retail location. I mean, you're within walking distance of the Capitol. You can get all of your your loyal customers from the market. No, I mean anyone can come here to North Street. So let's talk layout. So we're gonna have a big open like garage door feel, or is this?
So we had talked garage door, and that kind of got really complicated and very expensive. So this is going to be essentially a wall of windows right here. So you're going to have a really good view from externally, so you'll be able to see inside, see people enjoying the space, and then internally, obviously, looking outward. And we hope to have really great sidewalk seating on both sides of the building. So this area will be seating area right here. With in this back corner, kind of more of a designated performance area. We really want to bring in, similar to what you do at the Scholar, but some like smaller acts of just differing degree of like poetry readings, not just music performance space. And then essentially where we're all standing is going to be where the bar and where all the coffee happens. So we're going to have a main counter space here, and in this back corner here will be our espresso machine and everything that makes the coffee. So you do.
So we're stepping right up to the.
So you're stepping right up to the bar.
Okay.
So we'll be here. I think one of the things that Elementary does really well is greets everyone with a friendly manner, and that's something that I think we're known for, and we really want to continue that. So even if you're not buying a cup of coffee, you're just stopping in to say hi, we want it to be close to the doorway. The doorway obviously being great here at an angle, and these awesome, weird, curvy windows will just kind of set this space before. Preserving these amazing retro windows. And so also the rest of this then from standing this direction behind glass in this portion, and then also glass running kind of here to the back drywall that you see there. The roastery is going to sit beyond that. So our roasting is going to take place on premise.
So we'll see the roaster from the counter?
Mm-hmm, okay, correct. And so you'll be able to see the process happening there, which is, again, something that we're continuing from the market. Coffee being something that is really accessible and really tangible when it comes down to it, but most people not ever seeing the roasting process. Sure. And hope to make this neighborhood smell really good.
And you're planning to keep your location in the market.
Yes.
So you're one of a number of businesses that is expanding and was able to be incubated within the market and then move into the city full-fledged, along with Urban Churn, Radish and Rye, you name it.
Yeah,
right?
And I think it's a great testament to the city. I think this is, what's being built here is really incredible, and so there's more places now that are taking that risk to branch out onto their own.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
But also that's the way the market's supposed to work. It's supposed to allow you an opportunity to sort of start from scratch with minimal costs, and then as you build up experience, customer base, and you can expand, you can do something grand and wonderful like this.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from the process of construction? Because I'm sure you were a coffee expert, but were you a designer? And,
that I never want to do it again. Okay. This is our home forever. No, I think it's a lot of communication. I think that goes down to literally everything that anyone ever does is say what you mean and then say it again, and then don't mind saying it again and again, just to make sure that you have it right. Because I think details are important, especially for how we do things. Like every aspect of this does really matter, and people are going to be able to feel it even if they don't notice it. So just making sure that all those details are there, and don't worry about being slightly annoying, I guess.
Great. Thanks for continuing to grow and expand your business.
Thank you so much for making that possible. If you've been following our story, you know we've worked towards this for a very, very long time. Elementary has expanded when we've had the money and the means to, and you've provided us both, and this community and these wonderful folks behind me have made this all possible. I think there's a magic that happens when you drink a cup of coffee or meet somebody over a cup of coffee. I think great things can be born in that medium, and we're here to provide that medium. But you are here to then take that medium and take it further in this city and in the state that we love. So today, this cheers and this ribbon cutting for our storefront is for us, but it is also for you too, and it's the future that we can build together. And you're going to hear from some really wonderful people now that have inspired elementary, inspired me, and have helped us from the beginning. I think, yeah. First up, I actually don't remember. Oh, first up is Chris Dawson, the architect who helped us design this wonderful place.
Thanks, Andrea. So it's a great honor to kind of kick off the remarks here. Andrea, I can't believe it's been 5 years since you started the business, and I've been gently kind of prodding her for the last probably 3 or 4. Five. I think we looked at 5 different other locations before we settled on this one, but I have a lot of respect for Andrea, for her product, her commitment to social justice, to just commitment to the community. And it was a great honor for us to be able to kind of develop a design for her flagship store that embodied that, you know, quality materials, a strong connection to the street and the community, and just thoughtfully detailing all the materials and how they all went together and how you felt in the space. Andrea is very thoughtful in how she thinks about producing her coffee. So it was a good fit. It's a great honor to be connected to the project. And I look forward to her growing. We're in a little bit of a coffee desert in central PA, I think. And so I think there's a lot of opportunity. And I think she has a bit of lightning in a bottle here. And it's only good things to come for her. So congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yep.
I didn't quite expect to be announcing everybody, but all right. Next up is Ashley Dugan, who is the former market manager, market director when Elementary moved into the Broad Street Market.
Hi there. Andrea opened Elementary in the market during my time as manager. I remember our conversations, our early conversations clearly, learning about her plans for the space, her experience and passion for roasting, her vision for her business, and the vision that was taking hold in the market at that time made the whole thing feel so serendipitous. It was perhaps a bit magical. I remember the day she raised the sign in the brick building. It was just days before she opened for business. The sun was shining through those tall, drafty windows, and it lit up the sign, illuminating that brand that we would all soon come to know and love. Little did we know that that Elementary stand would quickly become a cornerstone of the market. Obviously, it takes a steady flow of caffeine to fuel the renaissance of a historic market, but we all know that it was a lot more than that. Innovation, cutting-edge recipes, warm smiles from behind the counter, and an immediate effort to serve and connect with the community. Andrea built her team with care. She placed a focus on ethical sourcing, and she built her space steadily and strategically. The lines for coffee, though, they grew longer and longer very, very quickly. And then, seemingly overnight, the business found its voice. Messaging that spoke to an existing subset within Harrisburg was amplified. It's safe to say that many people that identify with the politics of elementary coffee had historically been, or at least felt like a minority in our somewhat conservative little part of the world. Elementary, whether they knew it or not, added to the depth of opportunity for radical ideas to hold space in a mostly traditional town. I see the evolution of this business to have been courageous, creative, inclusive, and inspiring. And I'm proud to have been a tiny piece of Andrea's story, and I'm intrigued to see what new stories will unfold within these walls and any other future space that Elementary builds. Congratulations, Andrea, and to your team. Your work has grown into something that this entire community is proud of. So thank you for creating a third space, this rainbow of a family business in which we can all learn, grow, and be free.
It's really too early to cry. Next up, Andy Enders, who has been a good friend, my insurance agent, second, and yeah. And I hope to someday dress as well as him.
Okay, so that was the best lead-in ever because I have a little piece of elementary lore around my waist right now. One day, I was sitting at the counter and Andrea said, man, I really wish I had a nice belt. So I went home that afternoon and I got this belt out of my closet and I lent it to Andrea for, I don't know, probably about 8 months. It was early on. She didn't give it back, so finally I just bought her a gift card and said, please go buy your own belt. Can I have mine back? But that's been the relationship that the two of us have had for a long time. The first time I met Andrea was down at Trogs. She wasn't sure if I was trying to hit on her, trying to buy something, or just really confused and not sure where I was. It may have been a combination of those things, but we became fast friends, and fast forward probably a few months later, I was sitting at my other favorite coffee shop in the whole world, St. Thomas Roasters, and I had just had a meeting there, and all of a sudden, Andrea comes in the front door, and I said, Andrea, what are you doing here? And Jeff Smith, who is not here yet, but will be later, he was over by his roaster tinkering, because his roaster is always broken. And Andrea said, I'm here for an interview. And I yelled across the store, Jeff, you have to hire Andrea. And then for the next half an hour, 45 minutes, you sat on the couch. And Andrea very quickly became a part of one of my communities up at St. Thomas Roasters. That is a favorite place for me. It's a safe space. It's a community-focused space. And it stuck with me when Andrea started working at St. Thomas Roasters. She described this vision very quickly, very early on, of her own coffee shop. One in which she would be the proprietor. She would have her own roasting space. She would have her own vision. And she was steadfast in a commitment to building a community. And I look around at the folks that are here, many of the employees that have become family to not just Andrea, but many of you as well. I have been to art shows of some of her team members. I have been to birthday parties and other events. Andrea has absolutely and wholly carried out her mission to create a community. And that's my favorite part of Elementary Coffee. And I'm so proud of her and her entire team. And thank you for all of your support today for her. Continue to come back day after day to support Andrea and her whole team and her vision for a community here in Harrisburg.
Next up is Beth Taylor, who was also with Elementary for 3 years and helped us through our next leg at the Broad Street Market. Is now executive director at the Millworks.
Something like that. So, hello everyone, is this good? I have to say that when I saw that I was after Andy, I kind of cringed because I knew that you would say all the fabulous things first. And I wrote some notes, but I really just want to say that so my name's Beth. I ran the market as my great privilege and honor for 3 years. And in that time, I watched Andrea and her excellent team at Elementary grow and transform and evolve into what we see today. I also spent about, I don't know, maybe 10 years of my life on this block. I worked at Montjuic for 7 years. I lived down the street. And I would walk by this building every day wishing that something gorgeous would happen. I never imagined it would be this magnificent. It's exactly what this block needs and deserves. And in my time at the market, just Andrew and her team was a part of my everyday. They still are. I go there as soon as the market opens, every single day that it's open. It's comforting, it's community, it's inclusive. It is transformative, the way that they operate their business, and it's inspiring. And so I can only be honored and humbled and privileged to witness this growth. And we all know that it takes a lot of bravery, a lot of risk reward to open a small business, a giant chunk of chutzpah, which you have, and she, that was for you, and she does it all with such grace and with such ease, and I've seen the creativity happen every day as she sits at the bar of the Millworks and works on this space and this design. So honestly, I can only say thank you. Thank you for letting me be a process of it. Thank you for letting me be part of it, and to bear witness of it. It was my great honor. So thank you so much and congratulations. Now I cry.
And last up is another dear friend, Jamie Pauls, who is here to represent the ACLU, who has also supported us, and we've supported them for a number of years and helped us in our political action. And thank you for all the work that you've been doing and committed to them for so many years.
Thank you. It's an honor and privilege to be here today. We, the ACLU of Pennsylvania, has collaborated with Andrea and her team in many ways over the past several years, and one most importantly, I would say, is our Know Your Rights materials that are free and available at her stand in the Broad Street location, now we'll call it, and making those materials available to the community. It really is more than a cup of coffee. It's caring, it's compassion, it is community. And Andrea and her team are so committed to social justice and equality for all. And we appreciate your support every day, and we look forward to doing so many more things with you. Congratulations.
All right, now we'll get to the official folks here. Angel Fox, I actually don't know how you look. Yes, is here on behalf of Patty Kim.
Thank you all. Representative Kim wished she could be here. Mother duties call, so you get me. But she said congratulations on taking an eyesore out of her community and turning it into something amazing. Thank you for all your support with the minimum wage and everything that you did. So she said congratulations, and she delivers a citation from the House of Representatives and herself. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. John DeSanto, you're next up.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm sure the first time I met Andrea, she was not worried about me hitting on you, right? I also go to, this is funny, I also go to St. Thomas Roasters in Linglestown, and they open at 7 a.m., but I usually walk in the back door at 6:15 in the morning. And she was working, and I walked in, she just kind of gave me one of those looks. And I really liked Andrea right from the get-go because she has a lot of chutzpah, as somebody said, and she handled the crowd. The morning crowd at St. Thomas Roasters is very eclectic and demanding, believe me. But she handled us well, always was bright and cheerful, always working. I always sensed that she would be an entrepreneur. So I'm very happy to be here. When we first met, I never thought I'd be a senator and you'd be down here and we'd be doing this stuff together. So congratulations. I come out of the construction industry, so I'm not hugging you, but I'll give you a handshake, all right? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, wow, okay. I was like, I've definitely shared a cigar with John DeSanto over there. Mike Priest, Dauphin County Commissioner, is next up for us.
Much, Andrea. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. I don't think I need this. I'm loud enough, but I want to use it. Is my mom here? Okay. All right, well, first of all, Andrea, they say you surround yourself with really good people, and your first decision of having Chris Dawson, architect, design this place was a brilliant move. Very classy and classic, as Chris is as well. I'm here with George Connor, our Economic Development Director, and I want to congratulate you on bringing this another jewel to the city's crown. And I know the mayor is very, very happy of what you've done so far. And I have a proclamation I'd like to read into the record, if I may. And this is from the Dauphin County Board of Commissioners, Jeff Haste, George Hartwick, and myself. We, the Dauphin County Board of Commissioners, are pleased and proud to celebrate the grand opening of locally owned and operated Elementary Coffee Company in the heart of Harrisburg. Whereas from the Broad Street Market to 256 North Street, Elementary Coffee Company has been crafting coffee and sparking conversation since 2014. Whereas this environmentally conscious coffee shop features freshly roasted, honestly crafted coffee. Whereas Dauphin County deeply appreciates the presence of this fine business in beautiful downtown Harrisburg, steps from our Capitol complex, and the economic benefit that it brings to the community. Therefore, we join the 275,000 residents of Dauphin County in celebrating the grand opening of Elementary Coffee Company's new location, a great addition to an already vibrant capital city, and in grateful recognition thereof, we proudly proclaim November 15th, 2019 to be Elementary Coffee Company Day in Dauphin County. Congratulations. This is your day.
Thank you.
We thank you. You don't have to thank us.
I'll give you a hug.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you mind if I hand these to you? Feels really important. And now next up is our mayor, Eric Pappenfuss, here too.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, it is great to see so many people here. I think most of you understand just how blighted this property was historically. In case you're relatively new or you don't, this property was a disaster. It was so bad that when I took office, now would be about 6 years ago, it was one of about 5 or 6 truly blighted properties in the downtown that we were determined to try and turn around, to reinstill a sense of neighborhood community. Harristown's done a few projects. They've just recently restored the old restaurant that was on the corner of Washington Street near the entrance to Shipoke and the John Harris Mansion. That was another one. But this one was a problem that was really beyond anyone's ability to solve. And I remember we issued an RFP with the Redevelopment Authority. We had sort of potential developer after potential developer walk through the building, and every single one of them, when we first did it, said, building can't be saved, has to be torn down, no possibility, it will make no financial sense to do the deal. We waited again, we went through other potential offers that came really close but didn't work until finally, one day, a gentleman carrying this beautiful young child came up and said, I think we can do it, and then brought Chris Dawson in, an architect who's clearly committed to adaptive reuse of historic structures, and they did it. And if you haven't had a chance to go upstairs, it is as beautiful as the downstairs. It is just a spectacular, basically every stripped down to the basic structural supports and rebuilt. It's a wonderful, wonderful design. But even that vision wouldn't have been possible without an anchor tenant and without an entrepreneurial vision, which was eager to expand and grow within the city limits. And all of this has just come together in such a wonderful way. If you don't know, this is the most exciting center of Harrisburg right now. Literally one block up, we are digging up the newly paved 3rd Street and putting in 8 new electric vehicle charging stations, which will be the first public electric vehicle charging stations of their kind in the city. So people will be able to drive their electric cars and charge them while getting a cup of coffee. And we are also just installed this past week, a new contraflow bike lane, which is coming basically from the Transportation Center down 3rd Street and going all the way down to Riverfront Park, finally connecting the Transportation Center with with the green belt, and North Street does a wonderful way of bisecting the city and connecting back down to the park as well. This is an exciting place to be, and it is a place which really represents that type of third space community spirit where people can come together within a residential setting and really engage in community and conversation building and community building. I did wear a special tie for you today. It is the it is the chemical symbol of caffeine. And, and I, like many, can't get through a day without caffeine. It is sort of the lifeblood of our city. I bring nothing but congratulations to you, to your team, to your staff. It's an amazing collaborative effort. It's wonderful to the city. We've only got about 2 or 3 truly blighted structures left in the entire downtown. And I can tell you there are plans to hopefully renovate and bring new businesses into each of those. So it's an exciting time for the city, and thank you for your vision and your perseverance. Well done.
And that brings up a point I didn't mention is Matt Krupp, the building owner, is here, who definitely took a chance in this spot to begin with. And Matt Long, who actually reconstructed the building from the ground up, is standing over there also. And yes. So yes, I don't know who the member of the Harrisburg Regional. Oh,
just me. It's just me. I'm standing right. Hi, Andrea. Dave Black, Harrisburg Regional Chamber. I want to thank you and your team for your vision and for your passion, and everybody here. So let's cut this ribbon and get this party started.
3, 2,